When you say the affirmations, breathe with them, let them come through you, and you're literally programming yourself for who you want to be. You're literally rewiring your brain. You have the power to do that. In order for this to manifest, what do I have to let go of? Do I have to let go of fear? Do I have to let go of doubt? Do I have to let go of unworthiness? It's just a moment to pause and reflect, because it's only through pain that we pause. We never pause when we're like happy and life is going well. So pain, as much as we don't like it, is useful. But my suggestion is it doesn't have to go into suffering, and it doesn't have to go into this big, big ball of shame and guilt. We can say, okay, where's the lesson here? Let me learn this lesson so we can move on. But you got to be willing to learn the lesson, and you've got to be willing. Here's the piece that most people don't want to do, is you have to be willing to change something within yourself. Most of us want something quietly in our mind, but we don't want to change. We want that thing to come, but we don't want to change. And the point is, we have to change for it to come. We have to change. That's the beauty of what life is it's always calling us to be better. It's always calling us to evolve. It's always pulling us forward and saying, you can do this. And if you're not going to do it on the easy way, let's put a little bit bigger obstacle here so that you can really, really get it. But we don't have to wait for a tragedy to learn. We don't have to wait for something to explode to finally get it. We don't have to have the pain be so high that we finally are knocked to our knees and we say, I give up. We can learn to do that before the tragedy happens. We can learn to give meaning to things, and we can decide that everything is working on our behalf. That life wants us to want what we want and have what we want. But we have to believe we're worthy enough to give it to ourselves. Does that make sense to you? So today's series starts with this. It starts with I am now becoming who I am meant to be. And for me, I think of this as a promise, a dedication we give to ourselves that says, I am willing to become who I want to be. So if I want to be more successful, if I want to be happier, if I want to be healthier, I have to have that being, so that in that environment, I am birthing the actions that come from who I say I want to be. I'm not talking about who I want to be. I am talking from who I say I want to be. Does that make sense? This is probably the most important part of the puzzle. You can't talk about your future self. When I get happy, when I get grateful, when I'm thin enough, strong enough, blah, blah, blah enough. I will, blah, blah, blah. You have to say, I want to be happy. Therefore, I'm going to pull up whatever I can in myself today to be happy so that success will come. I'm going to pull up the happiness so that the health will come. I'm going to be grateful before I'm healed. I'm going to be grateful before I see the abundance. I'm going to be grateful before I find the love of my life. Does that make sense? And that's what we're doing here. We're working on the beingness. We're using the physical body as a tool to activate the being, the state, because the state is the environment. If you put an acorn seed in an environment that is not what the environment it needs, it's not going to grow into the big oak tree. So we have to plant the seeds in the environment that will help that which we want to grow to grow.